Hi there, this is savewith crypto. Okay, so if you watch my Crypto C review, that was like Crypto Rover's bot product, you'll see that I tried it for a month. I lost about $160. So yesterday I changed it over to like a manual trade, and I came out of it when Bitcoin pumped. But the leverage was so low, I made about $1 profit. So I'm going to try and win that back, hopefully today, but maybe over the next few days. But we'll see what happens. So at the moment, if I look in the assets of this account, you can see, if I go to derivatives, you can see that the bot was trading with USDT BTC pairs. So what I've got left is the USDT, which is worth about $3,750, and I think I started off as like 3,800 and something, but I need to get this more like 3,900 to break even. So the way I'm going to do that is to trade it against something. Now Bitcoin's pumping today, so I've missed that one, but I did actually notice that EGLD is pulling back a little bit, which is a little bit weird compared to the rest of the market. I mean, really everything's in the green. EGLD against Bitcoin is down slightly. So what I'm going to do is try and get in a long order around about, I want to do it fairly soon, so around about $57, maybe even slightly less. Yeah, say something like somewhere pretty near where it is now, to be honest. Let's go and have a look, shall we? So what I'm going to do is to look up here for EGLD. What I want to be trading is EGLD USDT Perpetual, and it does actually appear to be at $57 now. Okay, I'm going to go in at say 56.9, and I'm going to use half of what I have, so that's worth about $1,438. Actually, I'm going to check something first. If you go to this calculator here, let's say I'm doing $1,500, and I want to look at the liquidation price. And my entry price is going to be around about $57, and so that shows a liquidation price of $1.14 on 1x leverage. So I want that to be more like, so say something 46.74. So I think 5x leverage is probably safe, isn't it? So let's change that to isolated 5x leverage. That looks good, and we'll change that. I'm not going to short, but if we were, I'll do that on 5x as well, so confirm that. And then I'm going to set a buy order at 56.9. 56.9. That's going to be half the amount I've got. And I go open long. Right, so that order is here now. If we look at active, and I'm just going to wait, and hopefully this will pop down, fill the order. And what I'll do then, I'll maybe set some orders lower, just in case the price goes down, to average down my entry price. But yeah, for now, let's just see what happens.
Okay, so sure enough, the price did come down about 2 hours ago, and it came as low as actually 56.7, and it filled that entry. So now we've got like it's 0.43% in profit, zero now. But it's hovering around the entry price, but it was about $8 in profit then. So we've now got 163 eGold, effectively, it's on 5x leverage. And then the entry price was 56.9, and the liquidation price is 46.7. Now, there's always a possibility it could go down now, and I really don't want to get liquidated. At the same time, I'm not really clever enough to, accurately do a stop loss that's not going to get hit. So what I tend to do is I tend to sort of ladder in entries down towards the liquidation point. So if it starts going that way, it will average down the price. Now, what I used to do was I used to just put the other half kind of just above the liquidation point. But I've had cases where there's been a really violent spike coming down, and it's not filled the order, and I've got liquidated, and it's one of the most horrible feelings in the world. So what I've been playing with recently, and I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but it's been okay for me. But don't try this at home. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. But I've come up with a kind of strategy of putting 10 buy orders down here with the remaining half of the money, slowly getting bigger as you go down. And then just in case it does come down this way, it seems to generally come out all right. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I made a little Google sheet to calculate this, and it's kind of, it's roughly based on sort of Fibonacci type numbers and stuff. There's nothing particularly clever about it though. But I'll show you the spreadsheet. I mean, if it works out, I will share it with you. But you can make up your own. I mean, there's nothing clever about it. You know what I mean? So, well, let's have a look at it anyway. So this is the way it works: is you have the proposed entry there, where in this case we've actually got the entry. So we can just have a look at that. So the entry is 56.9 and liquidation is 46.7. So 56.9, let's put that in there. So 56.9 is the entry, liquidation price is that 46.7. Capital available, if I look at that, if I was to just go on 100% there, that's 164.25. Okay, so let's just call it 164. So 164. And then what it does, it calculates these prices and then the amount I'm going to put in. So you can see, it starts off at like $55 would be like 8.2 eGold, and then right down to 46.7 where it'd be like 31. So I think this gives a nice cushion as it goes down to ladder in. So I'm going to add entries for these prices. So it's going to be that price at 9.84. So put the price in there and the quantity 9.84. Open long. Okay, so that will do that. And then that puts another active entry in there. I'm just going to do that for all of them. We'll just do one more while you're waiting. So that price at 11.48. So there, 11.48. Alright, I'll just pause the video while I'm doing the rest of them because it will just bore you to death otherwise. Okay, so you can see all the long orders are put in down here. And it's currently $24 in profit. But just in case it does come down here, then these orders will start to fill, and hopefully it won't come down too far, or hopefully it'll come down reasonably far and then bounce back up, and then it'll all be good. But obviously you could make this less scary by using much less leverage, like 2x or 3x, something like that. But you don't try this at home. Think it through yourself, because it's just something that I'm doing. I'm not seeing it anywhere. I'm not particularly copying anyone. I'm just sort of, thinking logically, really. And as long as the price doesn't fluctuate too badly, I think it should be okay. Times would have come unstuck would have been around about the 13th of June and that kind of 27th of September, when there were some almighty crashes, and that would have been bad. Now, I don't know what the liquidation price will be if all these fill, but I suspect it would be quite low, so hopefully it'll be all right. But if tomorrow, if I look at this and I've got any time, if that's kind of like, $100 in profit or something like that, then I will probably cancel all these and then add a stop loss, which will be either at break even or slightly in profit. So just in case the price does come down, the stop loss will hit and I'll end up just not making any money, but at the same time not losing any. So that's the plan really with this. Nothing too exciting really, but I just thought I'd show you this kind of laddering type of technique, which so far I've found it to be fairly effective when I don't really know where the bottom is, but I suspect it's there. Right, so I'm not a very good trader, so don't copy what I'm doing. Not financial advice, nothing like that. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And various ways you can use ByBit. And, if you want to use ByBit, you can get that big bonus if you make a big deposit. If you don't, you get little bonuses and all sorts of things along the way, and cheaper fees, trading fees. So do use that. Just go to savewith.crypto.org/ByBit and then you'll find it. But yeah, what I'm really hoping, I mean, this is looking on the daily time frame, looking at the bigger picture. It's a bit hard to see on the actual trading view platform, but you do have these drawing tools. But what I was looking at is something like a double bottom like that, and then that would go up. That's what I'm hoping for. But there is also the possibility it could just go south. I hope not, though. I do think it's a good time for eGold to try and recover a bit, and I think X Day in November in Paris is going to be a good catalyst for getting eGold to go off towards the moon, if not to the moon. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing over there. Right, so I'm not going to set a take profit just yet. I'm just going to see what happens first of all. But I suspect I'll probably be looking at somewhere around the sort of like $90 mark, something like that, where there's a bit of activity in the past. Back in the summer, there was a bit of activity there, so there's probably a bit of resistance around 100, actually probably around about 90 as well. And then when you get into these old bottoms over here, 129, there might be a bit of friction there, but we'll see what happens anyway. At the moment we're just a tiny bit in profit, just $16 in profit. So that's that. I mean, if it goes up to 160, I probably should just say, okay, that's the money I lost with Crypto Rovers bot. I've got it back now. Close the trade and then move on to the next one. But I'm thinking that eGold might go pretty mad in the next month or so. So if it does, I'll just stay in the long if it's going well. If it's not, I'll bail out, cut my losses and try something else. Okay, so if you like the sound of that, please do give the video a like. Make sure you're subscribed, got a notification set on all, leave a nice comment, and above all, tell your friends.